Joining us to discuss is Congressman Khanna. He's also on the House Oversight Committee. He's a Democrat. Congressman, thanks for joining us. So notably absent from this list, I have to say, as somebody who's been following the story for quite some time, is President Trump's former Secretary of Labor, Alex Acosta, who, as the U.S. Attorney in Florida in 2008, is the one who negotiated this sweetheart plea deal for Epstein. Do you have any insight as to why he was left out, or would you like to see him added?
Be partisan. Everyone who was called should come before the committee, but we need to hear from him. We, of course, need to hear from President Trump. It should be bipartisan. And Paul Reed said the most important thing. It's about transparency. That's why Thomas Massie and I have the bill that we're going to introduce right after Labor Day, and I believe it will pass. And that's why the Justice Department should comply with this subpoena.
Chairman Comer says he wants the documents from the Justice Department released by August 19th. If the Justice Department doesn't meet that deadline, how do you see this playing out with an already very divided Republican Party?
Well, there will be a negotiation with Chairman Comer. Hopefully we can start to get the release of information. In the past, the Justice Department has often negotiated with the House Oversight Committee, but it is also why come after Labor Day, we're going to have the bill on the floor of the House to show that there are a lot of Republicans, MAGA Republicans, who are demanding the full release, protecting the victims, but demanding the full release of information. And I think soon you're going to see many victims speaking out themselves about how this is important to them in terms of closure, in terms of transparency. Their voices have not been centered in all of this. And I believe we need to center what the victims want. And many of them are going to say they want a release of the files.
And they also, I know a lot of them are worried about Ghislaine Maxwell getting a sweetheart deal in the same way that Jeffrey Epstein did. CNN is reporting that the Trump administration is considering releasing this transcript of an interview that the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche did with Ghislaine Maxwell. You've called on the administration to be more transparent. Is this a step in the right direction if they actually do this?
Sure. I mean, any release is better than anything, but you have to remember that Ghislaine Maxwell has twice been indicted of perjury, that she obviously has an incentive to have more lenient treatment from the administration and even potentially to get a pardon. It was highly unusual for Donald Trump's personal attorney, who is now the number 2 at Justice, to do a one-on-one meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. So I'm for all the information getting out, but this transcript in particular is suspect, and that's why we need the full context.
Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, Democrat, I think he's on the Senate Finance Committee, said that there's lots of documents at the Treasury Department. And Julie K. Brown, the excellent Miami Herald reporter who broke so many stories having to do with Epstein, she said that's what she'd like to see, because for her, in her mind, follow the money is the real issue here in terms of finding any other perpetrators out there who have escaped justice. Would you like to see those documents released from Treasury? What else would you like to see released?
Well, look, Ron Wyden has been excellent on this. Frankly, he hasn't gotten enough media attention, but he has been saying, and his committee has been saying, let's follow the money. This was not just about rich and powerful men abusing young girls. This was also about illegal transfer of money, money laundering, serious charges about money laundering potentially from overseas governments. And let's follow that. So, yes, I'd like to see that released. And I'd like to see more attention on the extraordinary work that Ron Wyden's committee has been doing painstakingly on this for the past couple months.
Democratic Congressman Khanna of California, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jake.